Okay, so after you have installed the app, go ahead and open it up. So let me give you a little intro of the app and the important stuff that you will be needing in this app. So you don't have to worry about all the different functionalities. I'm only going to show you the thing that you will need to create cake toppers or custom initials or whatever. So once you're on the app, just click on this plus icon at the bottom right to start a new project. From here, go ahead and select the screen size. So I would recommend going to digital illustrations and choosing HD screen portrait mode. So it's going to give you a huge amount of area to work on. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. So on the left hand side, you have all your brushes. So this is a small brush and these are the other bigger brushes. So what we're going to work with is this one, and this last one over here is the eraser tool. So if you make any mistakes, for example, you don't like this, you just click on the eraser tool and you erase everything off. So these are the only two things that we're going to need. So click on this brush. We're choosing this brush because it gives the fullest lines which don't have any gaps in them compared to these one which look like watercolor. So these are good for making the background and stuff, but we're not going to use it. So I'm just going to click on undo, which is this one at the top, this backwards arrow. So go ahead and click on this brush, and if you double tap it, you're gonna see all these other options over here. So the first one is the size. So the way you change the size is you click on this and you move it up and down. So we want our size to be something in the middle. So we're gonna go for this one, around 46 or 50. So this is the perfect size to work with. The next is the flow, which tells us about the transparency of your lines and stuff. So make sure it's 100% because that's the best to work with. The last one over here are the colors. So make sure that you always select black because it's easier to convert it into a vector file when it's in black color. So go ahead, choose all these settings and draw whatever you want to draw. So once you have selected all the settings, click on this square at the top over here to go into full screen, and now you can draw whatever you like. So I'm gonna write my husband's name. So go ahead, give it multiple tries, sit down and take your time and draw whatever you want to draw. There's no rush in this. So once you're happy with what you like, and don't worry about some of the stuff which are not coming out perfect. For example, the dents, the bends over here, the curve over here, we can fix this later on once we transfer the file to the computer. So once you're happy with this, go back to the small screen, exit full screen, and then click on this arrow which is pointing upwards to export the file. So click on Save to Gallery. So now your file is saved to gallery. Now go back to your gallery. So here's my file. Now just share it with yourself, email it to yourself so that you can open it in your computer. And next we are going to move to the computer. Now to edit the file on your computer, you're going to need the Inkscape software. It's a completely free software that you can download from their website by going to inkscape.org. So when you go to their website, just click on download. So choose one of the versions from here depending on your operating system. So I use Windows, so I downloaded and installed the one for the Windows. So go ahead and download and install it on your computer. So once you have installed it, go ahead and open up the software. Open up the image that you emailed yourself. So mine is here. I'm just gonna click and drag it to the software, and you can see this new box appeared. So from here, leave everything as it is. Make sure you have these settings and just click on OK. So our image has been added to our canvas. Now, the other way to add the image is by going to File and clicking on Import, and you can go to the folder where you saved your image, double click on it, and it's going to open up here. All right, now the next thing we need to do, one more thing I wanted to point out. If your canvas is not big, you can go to the right hand side panel, and at the bottom you will see this icon with the spanner. So just click on it and a new box will pop up. Over here under page size, you can select the size that you want, so A1 or A0. So I'm gonna go for A0 because it gives a huge space to work on. So just click that and then close the box. So you will have a large canvas to work on. Now click on the image. Now we're going to transform it to a vector file. So click on the image and then right click and click on Trace Bitmap. So a new box will pop up like this. So make sure you have Live Preview checked over here at the bottom. Now under Brightness Cutoff, increase the threshold till you reach this black screen. So when you reach the black screen, just press the back arrow just on the edge. This is what we want. We want a really high contrast to work with. And make sure all these boxes over here are checked. Remove background, stack scan, smooth. Now go to the Options tab and make sure all of these are selected. So once you're done over here, just click on OK and then close this dialog box. Now click on the image and drag it to the other side. So we have the vector file and we have the original image. So the original image is on the left hand side. Click on it and delete it by pressing the delete button on your keyboard because we don't need it anymore. We are only going to work with the vector file. Now, if your vector file is not straight or horizontal, just click on the rotate option from the top bar, and there you go. It's all horizontal now. Now, we need to work on smoothing all these lines, and we need to get rid of something which is not looking good. So on the left hand side, click on Edit Paths by Nodes, and you can, when you click on it, you'll see all of these tiny dots. These are called nodes, and we can pull it, stretch it, and this will change the entire look of the vector files over here. So right now you can see there are like a gazillion nodes, and we don't want to work with so many of them. Each of these nodes is where your blade is going to move up and down, and you don't want your blade to go through so many of these. So I'm going to undo this thing and click on Path and then click on Simplify. So there you go. Looks much better now. The number of nodes have significantly decreased. Now we can easily work on this and modify it. So let's get started. First of all, you need to zoom in. So press the Z key on your keyboard. Click on the arrow and double click on this. So now you can easily modify these lines to give them a calligraphic look. You can also add a node by just double clicking on the line like this. And there you go, there's a new node. I'm just gonna press Control Z to get rid of it. You can press Command Z if you're using Mac. And if you want to delete a node, just click on it and press the delete button. Oops. Play with this as much as you want till you get what you really want to achieve. And to see how it looks like, you can just click on zoom. Oops. And just zoom out to see where it's going. So I don't like where it's going, so I'm just gonna change it a bit. Alright, so this is my final vector file. As you can see, it's much simplified now with a lot of nodes gone. Now I have also added a star to be the dot for the eye over here, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So on the left hand side panel, you will see that there are some options. So here's one for the star. So when you click on it, the arrow will change to star, and when you click and drag, you'll see the star forming. So once you're happy with your star, go back and click on the arrow, and now you can just drag it and place it wherever you like. And if you want to delete it, just press the delete button on your keyboard. And then I've also added the numbers, and to do that, you got to go to the text, click on the letter A over here, and when you click on it, the arrow is going to change to this thing, and you can just click anywhere on the canvas and you will see the option to write whatever you want. So whatever numbers you want to add, you can add over here. Then you can select them all, or if you just click on the arrow and click on the numbers that you have just written, there you can see that there is an option to enlarge by just dragging, by just clicking and dragging. So just drag it and make it big as you like. And here's my final number. Now we need to make sure that all of this gets cut together. And to do that, we are gonna, let me just arrange it. All right, now this looks good. Now we're gonna select all of this by clicking and dragging. And then we're going to go to path, and then from here click on union. So this is like weld in Design Space, which joins everything together, so it's like one image. Before you click on union, make sure every single text is overlapping. So you can see there's an overlap here, there's an overlap here, but this little number 5 is not overlapping. So it's not going to get cut together. It's going to be detached. So just click on it and drag it all the way so that it overlaps on number 2. Now, if you're writing both the numbers together, for example, let me show you. If I write number 25 like this, you will see that there is a gap between the two numbers. There's this gap, and we don't want any gaps like these. So what you can do is write the number 2 first, write the first number, and then another text box and write the second number. Now you can just click and drag it so that they both overlap. So do this if you have 2 numbers, and then select everything and go to object, go to path and click on union. And there you go. Everything is all together, as you can see here. All right, now we need to export this as an SVG file. So go ahead, click on File, and now click on File and Save as SVG. So select plain SVG, which is the second one from the drop down. Now click on Save. Now go to Design Space and start a new project. Upload the file that you just created. Now click on Save. Now go ahead and test this thing out first before you cut it on your main material. Alright, so here's my image. So here's my SVG file, and as you can see, it's quite large. It's 20" by 12". So I'm just gonna drag it so that it becomes only 12" in width, so that it can easily fit on the mat. Alright, so the size has been decreased. Now click on Make It and test it out with a normal copy paste. So once you're happy with your test cut, you can go ahead and play around with the text and customize it even further. So I want to add the unicorn here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the images that I have been uploading here, and I'm going to select one of the unicorns. So this one, and I'm going to insert it. Now you can see it's very tiny. You can just click and drag it to make it bigger. I'm going to attach it over here somewhere. And if you want to change the direction of it, you can go to flip and flip horizontally. You can place it anywhere you like. I think this is the perfect place. Place it here. Now I'm going to select both the objects. And I'm going to click on weld so that these both get attached together. Alright, so this is our final image. Now to get it cut, just click on Make It. So it's still a lot bigger than what I wanted because my paper size is only 12 by 12 inch. So I'm going to go back and reduce the size. Alright, so this looks like a perfect size. One more thing I wanted to point out, so I want this to be really stiff, so I want to cut out at least 3 layers. So I'm just going to select this and duplicate it so that I can cut it out thrice. I'm just going to click on Make It, and we have 3 images over here to be cut. Alright, now it's time to get things cut. So I'm using medium cardstock paper, so I'm going to go for this one over here.